Hey, we're back again here. The cast, two of the cast, and also the man that wrote the story, okay? So let's have a nice discussion. You know more about this than I do. You know all the challenges, you know the rehearsals, how long the rehearsals are, and I know there's a lot of fun in your rehearsals, and a lot of work. So tell me, let's start off.
Well, I don't go to any of the rehearsals. My work is mostly done because I.
You don't go over there and make sure that they.
Yeah, we want to get them out to come and see us and check us out.
Yeah,
so,
but I would mostly get in the way. But before we go into that, I would just like to mention that.
What's the process on a rehearsal?
Well, what we've been doing with the guys directing us, John and Randy, we would start with some kind
John Doyle is out there.
He's out there. Yes, absolutely. We would start with some kind of improvisation. We get a ball, we throw it around and kind of recite the lines of the script or call out our character's name. And we just kind of get real familiar with each other to the point where this ball is just going all over the place, just like we're just fast breaking. It just becomes an exercise. Sometimes we drop it or whatever, but, it just kind of gets us warmed up. And then, we kind of, we would usually get in the costume probably prior to that, and then we start talking about some different things that we're going to go over. So initially we went, we broke it up into some of the different scenes within the story. Now we're at the process now, we're just pretty much running through the whole thing and just trying to tighten it up as we get ready for the opening.
Now they've set up, Iron Age has just recently set up a blog that is about the rehearsal process. And so they have articles by the different actors, by Cash Goins, who's another actor in the play, Chuck Beisel, who's another actor in the play. I don't know, this Richard Stevens, Richard Bradford Stevens. I don't think he has done one. But a lot of the actors, I have a couple things, John has a couple things, about the process and about the things.
On the computer?
On the computer, yes.
What's the number?
The web address is...
I'm a dinosaur, I don't know that.
IronAgeTheater.wordpress.
Run that again, what?
Iron Age Theater,
yeah.
That's the name of the theater, IronAgeTheater.wordpress.com.
Okay.
And you can get to it through their website and through their Facebook page and through their Twitter page as well. And it's got all of the stuff about the rehearsal process and different perspectives on the rehearsal process.
Some great information.
You encourage other people that come to see the show, maybe they want to be an actor too.
Absolutely.
Of course, it's always opening the show. Sometimes a cast of 10, 15 people, all right?
Well, people should definitely come out to see Chuck Beisel and Cash Goins and Richard Bradford Stevens because they're phenomenal performers.
Yeah, how many people in the cast, the whole show?
7.
Approximately. About 7?
7.
Sure, that could be.
5 inmates and 2 other guys that play about 3 other people each.
Yeah.
I encourage people to go see a show, okay? Today...
I encourage people to go see this show.
Yeah.
I don't care if they see other shows, but I want them to see this show.
This show needs to be seen.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about John Henry as opposed to the other like folklore myths like Pecos Bill and Paul Bunyan, it's hard to cast a giant and it's hard to, like put a tornado like Pecos Bill rides on.
Yeah.
But John Henry's just a big dude, and Cash is a big dude, and he has a sledgehammer.
And you'll
see
the way the set was designed. It's basically built like a machine, and all the intricacies of that. And this is an original playwright. The way that Chris prepared this, which is even more intriguing because it's just this totally unseen spin on this whole folktale and everything. And it's like there's 3 big parts where each character kind of discusses the tale. And my character opens up with a hopeful piece to it. Chuck comes in and then discusses more of what he believed his spill was or the way it was taught to him. And the last piece was with the warden.
Where's the music come in? When are you going to sing?
They sing all the time.
There's music all the way through.
Like I've been working on the railroad.
They sing that song.
That's in there. That's in there.
Why we have to do that song, man?
You know why that song is in there? That song is in there.
I want to know.
I think that song is fascinating because it's actually 2 different songs, right? Okay. So I've been working on the railroad is the one part, and then Someone's in the Kitchen with Dinah is the other part of that
song.
I know, my dad used to sing that song, right?
Yeah.
Someone's in the Kitchen with Dinah is a Cornish, from Cornwall, folk song that a guy sang about his wife cheating on him. And I've worked on the railroad is a work song from the railroad, from the people working on the railroad, right? Yeah. So it's actually these 2 different songs that sort of got spliced together and made into one song that we think of as being one song, but they're really representative of the place where the 2 cultures sort of crash into each other. So that's why it's that song and not some other work song.
All right.
Yeah, see, you thought I just put it in there because it was
Who were some of the other people in the cast? You remember some of the names or?
Yes, well, Cash Goins playing John Henry, I understand is doing a phenomenal job. He actually, had been tried to get him for when I did the first reading of it a while ago, but he wasn't able to do it for scheduling reasons. Chuck Beischel, he was in, if you had seen Waiting for Godot, that they did at Iron Age a year or 2 years ago.
Yeah, Adam Altman was in that
Adam
as
Altman was
well,
in that as well.
and so was David Freibert. He was also in Waiting for Godot.
And Richard Bradford Stevens is also in this. He just finished doing Anna in the Tropics at the Swarthmore Players Club. Interestingly, that my mom was also in that show.
Okay.
So, not that that's just
You would.
a bizarre coincidence.
What's your favorite show? If you were, like, say,
Oh,
you know,
man, favorite.
the musicals
The Life
and
of John Henry.
everything, what is your favorite show?
You could say John Henry.
Yeah,
it's all right.
right
Well,
now,
John Henry, you know, but I'm saying, what is one of your other favorites?
Well, just as a playwright, or just a TV show, or just any kind of show?
Theater.
Theater? There's so many.
Not so many. I just want one.
Well, I always want to go with this one, The
All right,
Life
we're
of
gonna go
John
with this
Henry.
one.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it's
How about
original.
musical?
It's original.
How about
it's
musical?
fresh.
And he's still waiting for his check to come in, so it has
Okay. How about you? What do you think?
I don't know that I could ever pick a favorite, but there's one that I read recently that I really enjoyed. It's a play called Marisol. It's just a really fantastic play. After I read it, I said to myself, I don't understand why everybody isn't doing this play. It's somewhere. Like, why isn't there always somebody doing this play? Because it's just really, really great play.
How about you?
Well, I'm really enjoying The Life of John Henry, and other than that, I have to go with King Lear.
Okay,
King Lear.
Wow.
King Lear's
Yeah.
the bomb.
King Lear's a good play.
Yeah,
How about
Lear's the
music?
bomb.
You know, you would play a good part when what's the movie? Old Man River.
Showboat.
What's the name of that show? My Fair Lady. Whatever.
The show that Paul Robeson sings,
Yeah.
Old Man River, and is I believe Showboat.
Showboat.
Yeah.
Right.
There is another theme in the play that we wanted to talk about, just that deals with violence. There is
Not in Showboat, in John Henry.
In John Henry.
There's very little
Right,
violence
no,
in
in
Showboat.
John Henry's all about blood, steel, and